guys, folks, welcome back to Burnhamdale Field, Vito Capizzo Stadium. For the second half of today's game, it's Daffodil Day weekend, and you're watching your Nantucket Whalers play the Nausset Indians. Nantucket has a 2-1 lead in a very low-scoring, obviously.
Amazingly low-scoring game.
Very deliberately paced offensive game. It's one of those games where if one team can string 2 or 3 goals together, it might really keep them in control till the end. As we mentioned before, Nausset had a 2-goal deficit in the fourth quarter against Sandwich and ended up losing by 5 or 6. And I think that's the kind of game this is going to be. If one team manages to string a few good possessions together, it could really tell the story. Austin Starr going to face off again for Nantucket, along with the usual face-off team with Lombardi and Bartlett on the wings. Nantucket has exclusively used their first midfield today. I'm not sure they've had another midi in there. Nice play by Nausset.
That just seemed to like a magnet right into his...
Yeah, I think that was probably the kid probably called for it. The guy kind of threw it over his shoulder, and it worked.
Yeah.
Tyler Good, number 5, with the ball. Chase Holm coming on, number 2, the left-hander. Or if he's not left, at least he has a left. He's driven and shot left-handed 2 or 3 times. Nausset clearing out for Trevor Good. Nausset feeds the crease. They're nearest the ball at the point where it goes out, so it'll be Nausset ball. That's considered a shot. Starr defending up top. More of the same, very, very deliberate. Charlie Van Fleck with the ball. Loses control, and there's a trip.
But that wasn't intent. He just tripped. Oh, he really? I didn't think that was...
Well, if they were going to call it, it should have been called by Chris Perry, not the other official who was across the field. Chris was right there, and he did not call it.
I wouldn't have called it either.
I mean, Chris was right on top of that and didn't call it. He had the angles. Maybe they'll see if they pick this flag up. They should.
1-5 white. 1-5 white.
Nope.
It's 1 minute on a trip. 1-5 white. 1 minute on a trip.
Once again, I'm not saying that wasn't a trip, but it should have been called by the near official. And if he didn't call it, the far official really did not have the angle to call it. So Cam Bartlett will be out for a minute. Nantucket will be man down. Nantucket's in their zone-style man-down defense. When you're man down, some teams, especially at the college level, you'll see teams rotate in a man down. Very poor shot front by Nausset.
What a shot that was, though, right around the post.
A little confusion around the goal. Nantucket kind of fell asleep. I think they thought Keegan Downey was probably going to get the ball off that first shot, and Nausset was able to pick up the, as they say, the loose change and finish with a backhanded shot.
So that makes it 2-2 in the beginning of the third period. That goal was brought to you by Santos Rubbish Removal. We clean up the island. Say Santos Rubbish Removal.
As we sit, with the game this tight and this slow paced, every one of these goals takes on an added importance, and that was one Nantucket really shouldn't have given up. That was just kind of a lazy play, honestly. Ball's on the ground, up with Nausset. 21, Matt Deal with the ball. Both teams are playing basically the same group of 6 or 7 players the whole game. Even though Nausset has what appears to be a pretty deep bench, they're not using that many players. And Nantucket's had their first midfield line plus Austin Starr on the field the whole time. I don't think their other 2 or 3 middies that have been seeing action in the other games have been on the field yet today. Which actually kind of makes sense. You want your more experienced guys out there in a game that's paced this way. Just one or 2 little misplays can really cost you. If Nantucket can create some transition, it'll really be in their favor. Nausset seems to be very effective in the 6-on-6 defense, as is Nantucket. Sandoval sets up a dodge, righty alley dodge, played by Starr. Nice job, Austin. Moves it along behind. You can see it's the same 3 or 4 people handling the ball for Nausset, and kind of the same story as Nantucket. It's off of good. Nice Here we go.
Look at the speed. Look at the speed.
Well,
Oh,
and
he just throws himself at it.
He's in the crease. Yeah, that
Oh, what a steal that was.
nice interception by Duarte.
Oh, what a play. What an assist. What a beautiful play.
Duarte sends it up top to Terrain Burton.
That was a highlight right
Yeah,
there.
that was a pretty play. And I got to say, the play before, Terrain is just, and a number of Nantucket's kids are so athletic that they got to get ahead of themselves in terms of fundamentals. That misplay before was a great breakaway that we kind of squandered.
He really made that happen.
Duarte sees the field extremely well for a guy that's only playing his second season at attack.
Wow.
Terrain Burton has all three of Nantucket's goals. Two of them were assisted by Duarte. Nausset gets it ahead, a little mini break here. Nantucket's got a number up. Now they can get back and play 6-on-6. Nausset is not in a hurry to press transition. I just don't. Maybe that's just not their style. They could have had a little slow break going there, Gino, but they chose not to go for it. Nausset had a little pickoff ball, but Austin Starr was alert and switched. Starr versus Good, left-handed take, off cage. That could have, that was close to being a white ball, but Nausset narrowly backed it up. Jack Judd bringing it on, loses it. That's Jack Judd, comes up with a loose ball. Don't foul him, Nantucket. Nice check by McVicker. I'll tell you, McVicker's having a heck of a season. Only a sophomore. I thought he was a junior, but I've been corrected. Kind of a yard sale clear there, folks, but we'll take it. Watch out. Almost had a foul there. I don't know if Nantucket's had a touch yet.
I think they did.
Okay. Yeah. Once you get it across that midfield line, folks, you have 10 seconds to touch it in.
Get behind, Dave.
It's back behind Spencer West. The right-hander carries it to X, now comes back lefty. Spencer has a good left. He scored several goals and had several assists that way this year.
Don't force it. Spin it.
3-2 lead, Nantucket, with 7.5 minutes left in the third quarter.
In and out with your feet.
Nauset's been able to have good matchups today. Their long sticks are pretty athletic. They don't have great size, but they're athletes. Corey Gamble, coach of the offense from the sidelines. In the first half, Nantucket's offense didn't do a great job of making space for one another. I think they're trying to address that now. Ben Lombardi up top with the right hand.
It's a movement. Off ball, gentlemen, off ball.
There we go.
Alex Small drives through a triple team of long sticks to score.
Go.
Is he going to be able to play lacrosse too out there?
At Springfield?
Yeah.
No, you see very few people playing two sports in college these days.
Oh.
It does happen. I was just watching.
He's so good at lacrosse.
Yeah, I was watching the Yale-Harvard game today, and before I came in, and one of Yale's number one in the country right now, and one of their best players is a football player for Yale. Yeah, there's a lot of really great college lacrosse on. The ACC tournament finals are Sunday night. So if you see this game on Sunday, folks, which maybe you will
see it.
If you're watching it on Sunday, when it's over, turn to channel 900 and watch ESPNU, the ACC final.
You can always watch all our games at genotv.com.
It'll be Virginia versus Notre Dame tomorrow night, Sunday night at. Or actually, it's probably in the afternoon now that I think of it.
Yeah.
So maybe you won't be able to see it.
I can't be watching anything but the Celtics tonight. Obviously, 7th game.
Yeah. That's
It's going to be incredible.
Well, at least they have the home court.
Yeah, I know.
Duarte carries it behind. Matched up by big, strong defender from Nausset, number 22.
Spin it! Spin it! Spin it! No, just spin it! Keep it active, boys. Find your look. It'll show.
Coach Gamble telling Nantucket to get that ball moving, and as well they should. The ball's been a little slow to move around today.
Go and help out, team. Good job.
Terrain kicks it to Spencer West. Nantucket's just a little out of sorts with their offensive patterns today, but they still managed to. Terrain Burton takes a pretty low angle outside shot. Once again, Nantucket's getting away by virtue of their athleticism. They're not playing as well as a team as they have earlier in the season. I think we just came off a spring break and they didn't practice for a week, and I think you're seeing some of that. They got their first midfield up top now, moving the ball around. Oh, there's a lot of space here for Terrain if he chooses to dodge righty. Nice look.
Oh, he rushed it.
That was a real pretty play. That's exactly what the coaches for Nantucket have been preaching this year, and Nantucket's done it well too. Dodge to feed. Don't necessarily dodge to shoot. Nausset is in a semi-zone down low, and they're just they're waiting for Nantucket's middies to dodge, and they're basically triple teaming them and leaving people open. Nantucket's in a circle now. Nantucket called for a conduct foul. Somebody said a bad word out there. You got to be careful about that in lacrosse. In football, sometimes you get away with it, but lacrosse officials will call you for that every time.
Really? I did not realize that.
Oh yeah, it's
called a conduct foul.
Yeah, and some officials are harder about it than others. Nausset bringing it down. They are really deliberate, folks. He had a shot there. Phil McVicker, the good sophomore defender upfield. I don't think Nantucket really has to be that quick to slide to these kids. They don't have any real blazing speed out there. Ben Lombardi picks off an errant feed.
Kick it out! Run to space.
Lombardi loses it, picked up by Nausset. Trevor Good with the ball. Tyler Good. McVicker on him. Way to catch him, Joel. Good job. Nantucket's got to defend the crease, defend the backside. That's outside the net. Picked up by Downey. Up to Terrain. Now we've seen this before. The speedy sophomore.
Oh, what a shot, too.
Today has been the Terrain Burton's third goal of the game, unassisted.
Wow. Okay, so that makes it 5-2 Nantucket with 3:27 left in the third period. That goal is brought to you by Island Lumber. Island Lumber, always on time. Rain or shine, Island Lumber.
Nantucket with a 5-2 lead. Terrain Burton with 4 goals and an assist. He's been in on every goal today. Black moved on the face-off. It'll be white ball. Now in college, if you get 3 procedure fouls, it's a 30-second penalty. I'm not sure if they've instituted that at the high school level yet. It's one thing about lacrosse. The college rules are different than the high school rules, and it can get a little confusing at times. That and the fact that they seem to change 1 or 2 rules every year. Here's Duarte coming from behind, right-handed. Turns the corner. He's a big, strong kid in there.
Ooh.
Now, that was close. Nausset throws the ball away, it looks like. Yep. Nantucket, and we mentioned, Gino, about stringing together a few goals, and Nantucket has managed to do just that. With 2 minutes and 54 seconds left in the third quarter, another score here would be a real good advantage for Nantucket entering the fourth. Nantucket has both their timeouts. In a close game like this, frequently in the second half, you want to save your timeouts, and you hate to use them for substitution and ball control issues. You'd like to save them for the end of the fourth quarter in case you need them on offense. Austin Starr in there, up to Lombardi. Over to Alex Small. Alex has a long stick. Leans into him. Alex is a big, strong kid. He can lean into you with that right-hand shoulder and run right by you. Spencer West is all over it. Good job, Spencer. It's off Black. With 2 minutes, barely 2 minutes over 2 minutes left in the quarter. Spencer West brings it on. He's got a long stick. He's going around.
Oh, there he is.
Nice trail check by their defender there. Nantucket interferes, but it's a play on. Ethan Still, number 1, the goalkeeper, brings it on. Nantucket is still in a press ride here. The Nausset coach is expressing his displeasure on the sideline.
Why they can't get score?
Yeah, he'll get a conduct foul if he's not careful.
Seriously, they'll give it to a coach?
You can hear the Nausset coaches. They're right below us. They're talking about attacking the ball more aggressively, or attacking the goal rather more aggressively. Which
this isn't working for them.
Well, they don't really have a good matchup in terms of beating somebody with speed.
No, they don't.
And that's one thing about this first midfield group. Austin Starr as well. Here's Austin, a good defender. Push him out, Austin. It's Sandoval with the ball. Nice defense, and they throw it away. Yeah, Nantucket may down the road have trouble with deeper teams in the midfield, Gino, especially when it gets warmer. But their first midfield group, and Austin Starr as well, are really good defenders, as well as being dangerous offensively. And here, speaking of offensively, here's the hero of the day so far, Terrain. Another shot and almost a goal. If you're that wing attackman and you see Terrain with the ball up top, you got to go back behind the goal because you know there's a good chance he's going to shoot. Nausset backed it up. Wow. Joel McVicker up with the ball. Help him out.
Come on, Black. Come on, Black. Get out. Get out.
Black had possession. They failed to advance the ball into the box. It'll be Nantucket's ball. It should be at midfield. Oh no, it's the spot of the. Oh, well, little fundamental mistake there. Don't let the ball play you. Go to it, and
they throw it away.
They return the favor. Now, Nausset is basically nice handle. As the quarter ends, Nantucket, and in the end of the third quarter here, folks, Nantucket holding a nice, not too comfortable, but 5-2 lead in a very, very low-scoring game. So here we are to begin the fourth quarter of play, with your Nantucket Whalers holding a 5-2 lead over the Nausset Indians in what's been a very deliberately played game at the offensive end. Both teams have played solid defense, and the offenses have been really kind of slow, and in case of Nausset, kind of predictable. Nantucket scored off a couple of scramble plays. Ben Lombardi with the breakaway to Spencer West. Mishandles it for a second. It was interesting during the period between quarters. You could hear the Nausset coach instructing his team, and going over very specific and scripted plays. And you could hear Coach Gamble talking to Assistant Coach Gamble talking to the Nantucket team about playing good fundamental lacrosse without having a scripted situation. So it's two different approaches, both of which work. Here comes Alex Small, a speedy senior. He's inside.
It really does seem as if Nausset is not playing as hard, and they just don't have the speed, and they're a little intimidated by Nantucket's speed.
I have to say, I'm a little surprised because Nausset is typically a real physical bullying type team.
Yeah.
I think they're playing better lacrosse than they have at times in the past, but they're not as physical. Nice ball by Camelot. Nice call, Coach. Yeah, we were just talking about that a second ago. That was in the fourth quarter, especially. You kind of debate whether to use timeouts to save a possession, but now the second half, I should say. But in the fourth quarter now, to save this possession, if Nantucket can have a nice possession, particularly if they get a point out of it, that's a real good call. But you can listen to the Nantucket huddle. They're not talking about specific scripted plays. They're talking about playing good fundamental team lacrosse. And I can tell you, when you're coaching against teams that tend to be scripted on offense, and by that I mean they actually have a specific play they want to run, once you predict that play and see it a couple times, it gets to the point where it makes it that much easier to slow them down. Teams that just play fundamentally sound, move off ball, and make space for one another to dodge are the teams that really are difficult to defend, particularly when they have athletes like Nantucket has in abundance this year. Once again, this Nantucket team is looking for their 8th win of the year.
How many losses?
Against no losses.
They haven't lost even outside of their...
No. And looking at their schedule, they have a tough North Reading team on the road coming up in a couple of weeks.
But we beat them.
We beat them here. I think North Reading is going to be a tough out on the road. I don't think they played.
When is that? Do you know?
I think it's in about 10 days. But they've already gone through the league, and the Vineyard is having a good year, so that's good news for us. That might be a really good game, and that's here.
Ooh, good.
We also play.
We like good games here.
We also play North Quincy here, and North Quincy's kind of an unknown. I think we played them in ice hockey, and that's how we made the connection. So we'll have to see, but I think Nantucket, if they can finish this out, is really putting themselves in a real good position in terms of their schedule at the end of the year. But this game is far from over. I think if Nantucket can have a couple of good possessions that lead to points, it'll be a tall order for Nausset. I don't think Nauset's been able to get any transition against Nantucket today. By that I mean fast breaks. And their half-field offense has really been more a function of Nantucket being a little ragged at times than anything they actually did specifically well. There were a couple of garbage goals and one pretty good outside shot. One cut and one garbage goal on a misplayed clearing situation. Nantucket's in a circle, and that's a good idea. Spread them out. See if you can get them to play you tough outside, and look for those passing lanes when they do. Nantucket would also like out of the circle play, if you could get their defense rotating and change the matchups. Alex with an outside shot. Good check, Alex. Yeah, pretty scrappy and Hill. Nice body check.
Oh, the bodies are flying.
Now the referee.
He called it.
I don't think that play. It's how the game has changed. I mean, a decade ago that never would have been called a penalty, and now Nantucket's going to get a conduct foul for talking to the official. This is exactly what they don't want in a situation where they have a 5-2 lead, and now they.
You can't talk to an official, really?
You can't. Well, it just depends on the situation. Put it this way: I've never seen an official change a call, so just zip it.
Let's see what he says here, Rick.
Defensive guys.
Wait! Unnecessary roughness, 1 minute. Second penalty, conduct. We're adding 130 on the same player.
Nantucket, Alex Small.
Oh, he just got a little rambunctious.
They got Nantucket's Alex Small for a body check that, frankly, I think was legal. You're allowed to contact your opponent from the front as hard as you can, as long as you don't want to take more than 2 or 3 steps, 5 yards. Within 5 yards, you can knock him down from the front or the side as hard as you want to, and that's just what he did there. But he got called for it, which was, in my opinion, a bad call. But then he voiced his displeasure at the official, and got an additional 30 seconds tacked on. So it'll be Nausset ball. There'll be extra man for 1:30. Now, if you're these penalties are not locked in, so if Nausset scores, they'll be at even strength again. Nauset's looking to feed the backside. You can see that, but it's not there. Nantucket's got to be aware of that backside. There it is. Nausset doesn't have one natural lefty, and they, in fact, don't really have a lefty threat. Number 2 here, Chase Holm, has a decent left, and he's taken it a few times today on even situations. But they don't have that left-hander to park on the backside for an easy shot. Here they go again. Now they're going to have righty cutters here. Sandoval behind the goal. The righty midi, who's also plays behind the goal.
Ooh,
nice play.
Look at that.
Nice play by Bartlett. Bartlett, don't lose your cool here, Cam.
Get behind it.
Nice ball by McVicker.
Yes. Go. Compete for that grab ball, Cam.
It's off Black. It'll be white ball.
It will be.
Go. Stay.
There are 30 seconds left on the penalty. Nantucket's down a man for 30 more seconds. Nauset's going to double team the ball. Stay away from that sideline. When you're being double teamed in this situation, get away from the sideline. Nausset gets it up. 14 seconds in the penalty. Fast break here for Nausset. And they mishandle it. They mishandle it.
Mishandled.
1 sprint.
Nantucket's getting a little too chippy here. They've got to watch it. They're going to be in the penalty box again. That should be white ball. I think Nantucket was closer to the ball at the point where it went out, but the official didn't see it that way, and that's all that matters. In my opinion, doesn't mean a thing. With 8 minutes left in the game, folks, Nantucket with a 3-goal lead, 5-2 over the Nausset Indians. Nantucket needs a 2-slide here, and they got it. That was a nice 2-slide by Owen West. Nice to see that. That's a sign of a well-coached team.
Look for box. Come back here.
Oh, nice little move there.
That's a push. Blow the whistle, ref. It was a play on.
What's the play on? Play on, quick. Gotta be blocked.
Nice play, Spencer West. Spencer's a tough little player.
Slash on the back, unnecessary. 1-0 flag.
Chris Perry gets Nausset for a slash on the back. Nantucket will be extra man for a minute. This is a situation where the clock is not really a factor yet, so Nantucket probably will just want to run their extra man play and don't worry about the time on the clock. There's plenty of time left. It's not time yet to think about killing the clock in a penalty situation. You know, once you get inside 3 minutes or less, that's when you start to think about maybe sit on the ball and the man up. Duart's open. Oh, nice idea. Nausset is really going out on a limb here, playing the ball that far behind in an extra man down situation.
Gotta get back in shape. Gotta get in shape.
Here's a wing. Oh. Alec. Pass goes through to Keegan Downey, the junior goalkeeper for Nantucket. Up to Terrain. We've seen this movie before. Nice idea. And it's a little bit of a late hit there. I'm surprised they didn't call it, but they didn't. Seems like Nantucket's not allowed to hit him, but Nausset is. And that'll be white ball.
That was the goalie too, wasn't it?
Yeah, the goalie brought it up. You see that in lacrosse, and you know it's that was probably not a good time to do that, particularly since they didn't have a backup. Darian Duart comes up, attackman comes over to assist in the clear. Now Nantucket's got the ball. Teams are at even strength. 6 minutes left. You know, if a couple more minutes go by and there's not another score by Nausset, that's when this clock situation is going to really start to matter.
And what will Nausset have to do? Do they just have to?
They'll have to play. They'll have to play more aggressive on defense. They'll have to force the issue on offense. Now Nantucket right there is, you know, Nantucket doesn't need to force a pass to score right now. They have even though it's only a 3-goal lead, you've held them to two goals through 3.5 periods.
Hey, Eli, go get it. Go to him, Eli.
Nantucket is once again in kind of a press ride. They haven't dropped back into a zone ride today, now they're going to let the goalkeeper bring it up. This is a situation where an errant pass by the goalie can be a real problem, but they have to touch it in. Nice check. Tay McVicker is playing really well this year. They all are on defense.
I know. I'm getting first.
You know, the VAR official, I was speaking to him at halftime. He's a really, really nice guy, big lacrosse fan, but I kind of would like to see him get a little closer to the play when he's calling these things. Once again, Chris Perry was far and away close.
No, he just called. What did... Offsides?
Nantucket's offsides. They have too many men in the defensive zone.
Okay, gentlemen or ladies, we have an offsides on Nantucket, the 30-second technical, 6-on-5 for 30. Offsides.
I think coming off of the penalty, Nantucket got a little mixed up when subbing off their man down team. And one player, I'm not sure who, stayed on when he was supposed to come off. So now this is a 30-second penalty with 5 minutes to go. Nausset really needs to get a score here. Owen West is defending that backside there. That's what they're looking for, and here it comes. Now,
Oh, that was a nice play.
nice play, Keegan.
And a great save. Absolutely, how he came out and
You know, Nantucket's defense
challenged that.
handles the ball really well. Nice.
Instead of waiting for it, that was a great save.
Nantucket does not have to be in a hurry here. If they can cut out the diagonal passes, wait till somebody's really open, and if not, the clock favors them. Spencer West. Terrain has a short stick. Nice look. When I say short stick, guys, frequently you'll see the better midfielders defended by the other opponent's extra long stick. And if you get a short stick matchup against a speedy kid like Terrain, that's when you might want to send him to the goal. Terrain has a short stick matchup behind the goal right now, so it might be a good time to get him the ball. Now, Nausset is choosing to shut off Alex Small. This would be a good idea for Alex to either stay outside or go to the crease, one or the other, and the coaches are having him stand outside. This is a really bad strategy against Nantucket to shut off because it makes the other players go 5-on-5, and as we mentioned before, 5-on-5 against a team with an athlete like Terrain is not a good strategy.
3 minutes left in the game.
Nantucket can't afford to start getting penalties here. They almost got. Yep.
Okay.
It looked like Darren Dewart was losing his temper there, and this is one of those things where the coaches calmed him down. You got to realize a 3-goal lead is not a big lead. This has been a slow-paced game up till now, very slow-paced. But you give up a dumb foul and a penalty. Next thing you know, it's a 1-goal game. But Nantucket has a 1-minute advantage with a cross-check on Nausset, which now you're in a situation where with 3 minutes left, you might want to be very deliberate and kill that minute before you go into your extra man play. Coach Gamble's called the freedom offense, which is basically a 3-3. And now they're in a circle, the freedom circle. Nantucket could be nice and deliberate here.
Oh, mishandled.
42 seconds left on the penalty. And that's exactly what we don't want to have happen, but a mishandle by Nausset. Willette chases the ball into the corner. Good hustle. Two 2 minutes and 26 seconds left, folks.
Hey, just one on ball.
Nantucket can double the ball here. They're extra man, but they have to shut off adjacent, which they don't do. If you're going to double the ball, you have to shut off adjacent. And Nantucket just got a stupid penalty, which is exactly what they didn't want. A push on Alex.
Get in the hole! Come on!
This is exactly the situation we just talked about. You cannot have dumb fouls when you're nursing a 3-goal lead in the fourth quarter. Alex is out for 30 seconds. I'm not trying to be too hard on Alex. He's had a really good game, but you got to remember what the situation is. 2 minutes to go. If we can stay even strength with these guys and just have one more good long possession, we'll be in pretty good shape. But now Nantucket's down for 30 seconds on a technical foul, a push. Nantucket's going to have to really defend that backside. If Owen West goes over there, they need a 2-slide from probably be Cam Willett from the right side. Nantucket needs their sticks up in those passing lanes. When you're extra man, you want to get that ball moving. You can dodge and dish it, even up.
They just do not shoot. They just pass and pass and hope that something gets opened, and they're just not getting the shots on goal.
Yeah, Keegan Downey was reluctant to go out of the crease that time. All I had to do is step out and pick it up.
Oh, God, was that a save? Oh, it did not go in. Nausset said it did. Oh, what a save.
Yeah, save it, send it here. Yeah, good job, Keegan. Even if we lose it here. Nice pickup by Duarte. 1:17 left. Be a good time for a timeout here. Nantucket has, I believe they have one timeout left. They have one timeout left.
Yeah. But why not just hold the ball now?
Well, it's just a nice time to practice getting yourself organized for these type of situations, Nantucket doesn't need to score. 58 seconds left. This one is in the books, folks. So your Nantucket Whalers are going to go to 8-0 or 8-0. Coach Aloisi uses his last timeout, which is a very good call. With 47 seconds left, this isn't a bad time if you're a coach just to go over with your kids, say, it's been a long game, there's been some chippiness and physical play. Let's not lose our cool, no penalties, no talking to anybody. Let's just put this one in the books. I think
47 seconds left in the game.
I think Nantucket's
Nantucket's up 5-2. What was that, Rick?
Well, I think with every one of these passing games against the teams that we anticipated non-league being tough opponents, with the win over North Reading and the win over these guys, that just leaves non-league opponents a repeat with North Reading, a repeat with these guys, Nausset, and then one home game against Quincy, North Quincy, and then the Vineyard game. And I'd have to say Nantucket will be heavily favored in most of their remaining games and prohibitive favorites probably in all their home games. And I think the North Reading game on the road is going to be a big challenge. But, so I think it's just really important, and the coaches are going to emphasize this, that, it's a process of getting better and taking advantage of every practice. You've only got about probably 10 practices left in the season, and it's hard to believe, but you have probably as many games as practices, so you've got to take advantage of every one of those opportunities to work on the things you haven't done as well as you might like, and to continue doing the positives the right way. This is a very good Nantucket team this year. In Nantucket's 20th year of playing varsity lacrosse, and this is a real solid team. Great to see for all of our lacrosse fans out here, which we have a pretty nice little crowd today.
This is the 20th year, huh?
This is our 20th varsity season for boys and girls and our youth program. It's hard to believe it was 20 years, but it is. It's just
we were there when we first started, too. We covered it.
Yeah, Gina, you covered our club year, the first year I was coaching at the club level. 34 seconds left. All Nantucket has to. In situations like this, you really just want to keep the ball behind the goal. That way, if you get a turnover, Nauset's not going to win this game anyway, but you want to practice holding the ball in these situations. So if you get a turnover, it's not going to lead to a fast break.
It is ours! It is ours!
10 seconds left.
Now, Alex Small just needs to move the ball along here, and he does. 4 seconds left, folks.
Eighth of a second left, and the clock stops.
But we probably ought to do our 3
Yeah,
stars too.
go ahead, Rick.
Well, I think today, obviously, Terrain Burton had another outstanding game with 3 goals and 2 assists. I'm sorry, 3 goals and 1 assist. I was really impressed again with Spencer West. I think Spencer gets a start today for his overall scrappy play, and Darian Duart gets one today as well.
Oh, good choices.
Darian had 2 assists and a number of good ground balls. It wasn't a thing of beauty today in terms of high scoring up and down the field, but Nantucket did what they needed to do to get a win against a quality, long-standing program from Nausset.
Do we know what their next game is and where it is?
I do not know.
Okay. All right.
I had a schedule here.
Well,
that seems to have
we'll be
disappeared.
around, and we're enjoying covering boys and girls lacrosse, softball, and baseball this season. So we want to thank Rick Blair for calling tonight's game. This is Gino Gang on camera. Wishing everybody a very pleasant weekend, Daffodil Weekend, and we'll see you soon here on Whaler Sports TV, folks. Good night.